Welcome everyone to this month's monthly bot breakdown. At the beginning of every single month, we recap the previous month's top bots. We talk about what is there to learn from it, what happened, and I also give you the bots for free. So let's dive in and get started. As I just mentioned, if you stay until the end, you'll get all three of these top bots that you can start using them in your own account today. Disclaimer, you're going to see some trades, you're going to see some back tests, you're going to see results, you're going to see cool stuff. But that does not mean that you'll be able to do the same. You guys know traders actually lose money most of the time. Why? Because trading is risky. Trading options is even more risky because it involves leverage. So this training is for educational purposes only. You are the one pushing the buttons and responsible for what happens to your account. So that is our disclaimer is we are not responsible. As long as that's good, let's dive in. For those of you who don't know who I am, because we have a lot of people who attend these who aren't typically in our normal audience, we do also have a lot of options auto trader users. But if you don't, my name is Austin Wheeler. I've been trading since 2017. I personally helped over 20,000 traders over the last 5 years. And my bots had made me at the end of last year $22,387. I need to update this amount to see what it's been so far this year. We can look into that in a second. But again, you can see here from the ending of last year, this just one bot alone made me 22 grand. It can't be done. But when I first started trading, I was averaging between 2 to 3,000 a month, but I was trading myself, which means it took all my time, all my attention. And with that, it means that I also opened myself up to losses overnight because, well, I sleep at night. And so I had one of my largest losses ever was $15,000 loss. And because of that, I felt hopeless and depressed. My whole goal of trading was to have the time freedom, to have the money so I could spend time with my wife. But the more and more I traded, the more and more it consumed my time. And the more I was spending less time with my wife. And so that's when I had the light bulb moment when I read this article that said in the US stock market, about 70% of the trading volume is done through algo trading, which basically means at that time, which is 2020, which is almost 6 years ago now, 70% of the trading volume was done by bots. And so by now, it's definitely 90, 95, not 99% of all the trading volume by dollars is probably done by bots. And so if you're not taking advantage of bots, then bots should take advantage of you. I believe that. And so that's why I created a tool called the Options Auto Trader, the only tool that allows you to automate option selling strategies in any way you want. And so by using this tool and automating the strategy that I was doing before, I went from averaging 2 to 3,000 a month to averaging 4 to 5, with changing nothing but just allowing bots to do it. And I had my best month ever, which was 8 grand in a single month without me having to ever place my own trade. But not only was I able to make more money, I was able to decrease my losses because it followed my rules. It watched the market faster than I could, which means it watched it 24/7 and got out quicker than I could ever do manually. And it just was good at watching the market because so many times we get into the emotions of should I close, should I not? And didn't have that. It just followed the rules, which helped me do that. But not only that, it gave me the peace of mind and my time back and actually spend time with my wife instead of being constantly consumed by the market. Then I opened it up to beta testers, and you can see here people with either options experience or no options experience went on to make some good money. Ryan made $3,000 in his first 30 days, just letting his bots work. Roman, who had never traded options before, made $100 in his first 30 days with a small account. Gabby made $1,000 in his first 30 days. I think he's on the leaderboard this month too. So again, for 2 years now, he's been rocking and rolling this system. And Dean made $700 in his first 30 days, and he had never traded options before either. And today's results are the results that we'll be talking about. Like, again, it's been 2 years now of the options auto trader, coming up on 2 years, and we still have people printing money every single month. And so we're going to be covering these top three: SG, Mid Hat, and David, who made it on the top three list today. We will be doing honorable mentions later, but as mentioned, if you stay until the end, I'll actually give you the bot template so you can copy all these people's bots with one click into your own broker account. Now, before I talk about what specific bots did well, let's talk about what an ideal bot portfolio looks like. It looks like understanding the market trend. Okay. I had been a trend follower since basically day one. When I got into the market in about 2017, I learned the idea of trends and understanding that, hey, trends play a significant part of understanding where the market is going to go because it shows us where the momentum is going. So I know a lot of people do counter trend trading or they call them contrarian traders, but I am someone is if the trend is going up, let's follow that trend. And so we can use a lot of things to determine trend, whether you want to use your own advanced systems like I do, or you want to use as a simple moving average to determine that. So if we're using something like a simple moving average, that's this line. When the market's above it, we're trending higher. We're in an uptrend. If market's below it, we're trending down. And so with that, understand those two different types of markets, we need two different types of strategies. I know you've heard this before, but it bears repeating because it's so important. When we're in bullish markets, trade bullish strategies, put credit spread, short put, one, leap calls, things like that. When you're in bearish markets, trade bearish strategies, call credit spreads, put debit spreads, short call, long put, etc. Why? Too many people rely on one strategy in every type of market and they lose big when the market flips. So here's the thing. All strategies work. Just make sure you're trading them in the right market. We trade bullish strategies in uptrending and bearish and downtrending. Now, now that you know that, what was the trend? What was the direction of February 2026? We look at February as a whole, very flat, probably negative too. Again, I don't have the exact dates. This is the beginning of the year. This is a decent bit of trading history, but this right here was where February was. This is SPY. So opened around $682 the beginning of the month, the end of January, and now we closed around 685. So we were a bit up, but very range bound. And so that should tell you what went well. Now, if we zoom out of the market, what we're going to see is that we're actually in a bullish trend if we're looking at most moving averages. So we are long-term bullish, but in this intermediate phase for the last 2 to 3 months, we have been very flat. Now, very huge red day today. This was taken today. Very large red day. So a lot of you guys are probably impacted. My accounts are down. Your accounts are down. Again, we should be plenty far away from strike prices that we're just going to let our strategies play out. Nothing need to change, but still had to be said. The market is very, very down today. So with that said, look at all the top bots. Now, again, this month is a little different because all the top bots are the same exact strategy. Okay. And that's because there are certain strategies that play well in range bound markets. And if we look at range bound markets, most bullish strategies has some version of a short put, which means as the market moves higher, you make money. As time progresses, theta decay, you make money. However, there's also bearish strategies where you sell a call. It's the same thing. If the market goes down, you make money. As time progresses, you make money. But you can combine those to sell a put and sell a call, and that's called a strangle. And that means if the market stays neutral like it did, you're profiting from both the put and the call, and you're profiting from time decay on both of the contracts. And so, what a surprise. Right here, the top bot of the month that made over $7,000 was an SPX strangle, which means you sold a put, you sold a call 90 days out. Now, here's a takeaway for the information here. Number one is that they did 6 trades and 3 trades are still open. So their actual profit and loss that's been close, like they've made about 3 grand, 3.5, because they still have the other half of the trades open. So understanding that the way to really profit from any type of bot is where I'm getting at is having a laddered structure where sure, a bot takes, what is it? What's the average hold time here? Oh, it's not showing the average hold time on this. Anyways, the average hold time for, depending on your trade, could be 4 weeks, which means you need 4 weeks of building up positions once a week, twice a week for up to 4 weeks before you start seeing those profits roll in. So if you're using a longer term strategy like 90 DTE or something like that, you're going to be in that trade longer. Now, I love longer term trades because they're great. But the longer in the trade, the more you need to set yourself up to be okay to ladder into that position, because it may take a month or two to fully get all those positions active and then start to close it, have to take profit and then open new trades. So make sure that if you're now getting into this for the first time, that you're giving it a month to allow your positions to ladder and scale in so that they can open, close, open, close. And then that's where you see the profit really start to rake in. So don't expect this to be immediate because it's not, but allow yourself to ladder in over a month. Now, the strategy is a short strangle. If you want to run the same thing, the one they did was an SPX strangle, 90 DTE. I don't know the exact deltas they picked, but you can see that when you copied the bot template. Now, why did it work? It was a sideways market. So when we're stuck in between a support and resistance level, the obvious strategy is a sideways strategy, which is a strangle. Now, here's the difficult piece. We don't always know when the market's going to be entering a range-bound market because the market's not range-bound. Strangles actually lose money because the market tends to run up pretty quickly or run down pretty quickly, which means that it hits either the short call or the short put, and that leads to a loss that you have to get out of. So because of that, strangles do underperform in very well trending markets with what the market does most of the time. So you need to make sure to skew that strangle or something like that. Now, here's what to know. This was done on SPX, so about $8,000 of buying power or so per trade. But if you want to replicate it, you can do that by doing an iron condor on either SPY or SPX, and you can do that for as little as $500. Obviously, your return's going to be less because the money that you're putting up is also less, but you can replicate that for smaller accounts as well. Bot number two is also a selling strangle, same 90 DTE time frame, just done on ES futures. See here that it's only two trades that got them up to the leaderboards. That's pretty good. You can see here short strangle. It works because of the sideways market. And this was done on ES, about $8,000 the buying power per trade might be slightly higher, but this can be replicated with an iron condor on SPY or SPX. And this same thing here as well. Biweekly Rainmaker, which is the name of this specific strangle spot. ES selling strangle 90 DTE, two trades as well took them to the winner. Why? Because when you're doing a strangle, you're collecting the premium from both the short call and the short put. So your average price or average credit you're collecting is $82 or $70 plus compared to the average credit we collect. If you're just selling a put, it's going to be around 40 or something like that. So you're collecting 2x the credits, you're making 2x the profit. So you can see that they hit 4,000 plus for this month just off two trades, which isn't bad at all. But you have to consider that once the market starts trending, either up or down, it's not going to work well. Here's the key insight. Although our bullish spots underperformed the strangle slash sideways bot this month, that does not mean you need to run a strangle bot. Okay. I have a lot of people inside the coaching program with Austin. Strangles are working so well. Why don't we just run strangles? Well, because then you get caught in this very slippery slope where you see the market is neutral for a week or two and you go, okay, wow, the market's neutral. I'm going to enter strangle. Then because it's been neutral for so long, it turns into a trending market and then it starts trending up or trending down and your strangle breaks and I lose money. And you go, wow, now it's trending. I'm going to jump into my bullish trending bot and you're going to let that run. But as soon as you start doing that, then it pulls back and then you lose and you're like, dang, now we're back to a flat and you jump in between. Just stick with a bot. And that's where it comes down to our core bot portfolio, which is having one bullish, one bearish. Now, here's my caveat. A strangle bot is going to be for accounts who have over 100 grand. Okay. Why? Because the core bot portfolio, a bullish spot and bearish spot strategy or a bullish strategy should be run by everyone under 100 grand, should be done on the S&P 500, whether that's SPY, SPX, or ES, depending on what you can afford. Now, for that case, that's what you should be running. Once you have over 100 grand, you have more than enough money. And also just for the buying power reasons, but also because the losses are larger that you can stomach them better, is once you have 100K, then you can start adding on these other assets or other strategies and diversification methods, which would be a strangle bot for neutral markets. But it's not something you should be jumping in and out of, which is a key lesson. Okay. Now, let's talk about some honorable mentions. So we're talking about monetary return. You can see here that we had the daily income bot make $5,170 for Dale. So that's incredible. You can see here that he did customize it. He did 0.7% out of the money for his put credit spread, but across the board, still $5,000 from a daily income bot. That's really good. We have another bullish spot that's going to be a 111 bot that made it up in the 5,000 month, which I believe is the same David that made it in the third spot. We had a GC put credit spread bot that did almost $5,000. So shout out to Robert on that, who I think I saw in the chat earlier. So he's here. And then shout out to Rashid, who did SPX 1 DTE Iron Condor, made almost $5,000 as well. Shout out to you guys. I know we also have the percentage returns. I forgot to throw that image in here, but I will next time. To shout out smaller accounts who are still doing absolutely well based on their percentage returns. If you're on that list, congrats. I know I don't see it, but you guys deserve kudos too. All right. So can you guys imagine waking up in the morning and having a bot that actually fully handles this whole process for you, places the trades, exits the trades, manages your account, all based on your rules, and you're now on the leaderboard because of it? You can do that with the right bot. So would you like access to our bots that I just shared you on the top 3 leaderboard today? I assume the answer is yes. So I'm going to walk you through how to get access to all of the January's top bots. Okay. Oops. Now, if all these bots did, because most people charge 5 grand alone for a single bot, and I'm giving you 3 of them. So I can easily charge you 15 grand, but let's say we're to charge you 5 grand. If all these bots did was help you make a consistent $1,000 every month, which you now see people making upwards of 5, 6, 7 grand a month, would it be worth 5 grand to pay to get access to these bots? Absolutely. If these bots would allow you to have true time freedom since you're no longer stuck to the screen, would it be worth 5 grand? Absolutely. Your time is worth way more than that. And if these bots give you the ability to sleep at night because it protected you from market crashes and volatility spikes, would it be worth 5 grand? Yeah, you saw me. I had a huge loss of 15 grand when I was trading. And if I had these bots, it wouldn't have been that large. It probably would have only been a $5,000 loss, which means I could have saved myself from $10,000 of losses. So, yes, a bot will help you make more money, help you get your time back, and help you decrease your losses, which is a win across the board. So, whatever price it is, it's worth it. So, who exactly do these bots work for? They work for option traders with a strategy, option traders without a strategy, people trading undefined risk and defined risk. It works for option traders who are trading either stock options, ETF options, futures options, and index options. It works for people who are new to options but still want passive income. It works for people who want to trade options without all the risks. But I'm gonna do something crazy for you guys. If that sounds like you want access to these bots, whether you're an options auto trader member already or not, I'm going to do something insane. And again, you probably know this already, but I'm trying to grow this software. I'm trying to make it the #1 options bot tool on the internet. And because I'm trying to do that, and I truly want you guys to have success, because here's the truth: if you guys have success with this platform and our bots, then you'll go out and you'll just naturally want to share with others, which will help me grow as well. So if I help you have success, you'll help me have success. And so that's my selfish reason of why I give so much. But here's what I'm gonna do. You can get it not for 5 grand, not for 1,000, not for 200, but you can get it for just one extremely low price of free. Now, you guys do that coming into this. I just like messing with you guys. But yes, it's completely free. You guys can grab these bots by going to oatdiscount.com/3bots, oatdiscount.com/3bots. Now we'll get into the Q&A section here, but I did want to make sure to cover some of the frequently asked questions behind how to download the bots. So I just put that link inside of the Zoom chat in case you need it as well. But it's oatdiscount.com/3bots. You'll have a spot to download all the bots from this month. Sweet. So with that said, here's how you download it. You're going to go to that link, oatdiscount.com/3bots, to click the link inside of Zoom. You're going to see where you can click on copy bot. Then you'll be taken to a dedicated share page where it says, hey, Austin Booley shared this bot with you. And you'll be able to clone that bot, and then it'll be added to your templates library. Inside of this templates library, you'll be able to see the rules, import the bot, change the name, delete the template, whatever it is, but you have a template library of all these that you can eventually use. Now, we always recommend that you set these bots up on paper to see how they work before testing them in live, but that is how you get access to those templates. Second, what if you're not an Options Auto Trader member yet, and so you can't use these bot templates? Congrats, you have the ability today only to start a 14-day free trial, which is awesome because I typically charge money to start a trial. Most people pay $27 to start a trial to help me cover data costs, because there are a lot of expenses that go into running this. And so for this offer time only, basically for the next day or two, you can actually start a completely free 14-day trial when you go to oatdiscount.com/3bots. So click on the share button and it'll say Austin Booley shared this with you. But since you're not logged into your Options Auto Trader account, it will say start your 14-day free trial. You'll click on that button. It'll take you over to Stripe. You'll start a 14-day free trial, which you can easily cancel at any time. And then once the trial started, you'll then immediately have that bot downloaded into your template section as well. So you can start using it, whether on paper or live, but it's always recommended to start on paper. With that said, that is the top 3 bots of this month, all wrapped around Strangles, because the market was very flat. Now, the market's very red right now, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, a lot of international news and affairs, so we'll see what goes on with the market. But long term, we're still in a bullish market. But with that said, I'm now going to finally pull up my chat box, and I'm going to get to any and all questions. So if you posted one in the past, please repost it so I can make sure I see. 3. Casey says, would it be possible to do a monthly highlight of portfolios that can be traded in an IRA account? Great question, Casey. All these strategies here can technically be traded in an IRA. So the strategy that all these people were using, if you go to the Options Auto Trader, underneath our database of bots that we give you for free is called the Biweekly Rainmaker. If you go to the strategy database of all the public bots, there's a defined risk Biweekly Rainmaker, which is a IRA friendly version. So that one can easily be traded inside of IRAs. But yes, I think it would be fun to do a different highlight section. You know how we highlight typically the people who won based on percentage. But if you want, I can start pulling up various other strategies like the winners of SPY, the winners of SPX, the winners of IRA friendly bots, and we can do that. So I'll add that to my to do list because I do think that'd be fun to showcase all the different bot formats instead of just the top winners. If you guys think that's a good idea to focus on the top winners of the month, but then also highlight sections of IRA friendly, small account friendly, different ticker symbols, let me know in the chat if that's a cool idea. Yeah, I want to make sure that this is something that you guys get value from every month. Ver Vandana, sorry, I shouldn't have taken that long to pronounce that, said, could you please explain if running trades are modified by bots? Let me see. Could you explain, sorry, if running trades are modified by bots with reduced stop losses or rolled to a new position? Yeah, Banana, it all depends on the way that you set up the bot. The bots will only ever follow your rules, okay? So if you set up the bot to have a certain stop loss, it's going to close all the open trades it's tracking at that stop loss. If you set up the bot to have rolling rules where it rolls the contract after a certain stop loss or something is hit, then it will roll the trades. It will only ever follow your rules. Yeah. Bandana says, I get worried if bots have opened a trade and if it's almost obvious that markets aren't moving for good profits. Yes, that's when it comes down to entry rules is what you'll do is you'll make sure that entry rules define the market you're looking for. There are a ton of indicator settings, VIX settings that you can set up to make sure that you're only running that bot on the right market. For instance, as I mentioned, our main two segments is bullish bots and bearish bots. If you wanted to just quite simply make sure that your bullish bot's only running in bullish markets, then you want to do something like a moving average entry rule so that once the market is above the 200-day SMA, then you would allow the bullish bot to enter. If it's below, you'd allow the bearish bot to enter. Shahid said, instead of manually having to turn on and off the bots based on market trend, can the bots check the trend themselves? Yeah, exactly. Those are what the entry rules are. So underneath entry rules, there's an indicator section you can set up, as I just mentioned, the simple moving average entry rule. So you keep the bots on the whole time, but you have an entry rule for your bullish bot that says only enter when it's above the moving average, or for your bearish bot, only enter when it's below the moving average. And that way, the bots always stay on. They're only going to run in their particular market. Risa says, I'm new to the bots world. Welcome in. Glad you are here. He said, where and how to use these bots? Which platform can they be used in? Yeah, so all these bots can be used inside the Options Auto Trader platform. The Options Auto Trader is just an automation tool that I created that connects to brokers. So it will connect to Casey Trade, connects to Charles Schwab, connects to Thinkorswim, connects to TradeStation, and connects to Tradier. So if you have any one of those brokers, you can connect it to the Options Auto Trader, and then you can start using these bots. It's super simple. You can start a 14-day free trial. If you have any questions, just reach out, and I'd love to help you out. Don says, can I take one of my put debit spread trades with my strike price and get the auto trader to place and manage? I'm not fully understanding the question, Don. If you're saying, can I place the trade manually and then have the auto trader manage the exit, then that is true. So you would put the trade on yourself on the broker. So you'd be like, okay, cool. I'm waiting for the perfect time to put on a put debit spread. You would then put on the trade at the broker yourself. Then inside of the options auto trader, you would create a bot that would manage the exit. So what I mean, a bot that would manage the exit, you would just create a generic bot that has the same symbol. So let's say you're trading on SPX or something, and you would create an SPX bot where the exit rules are the exit rules you want. And then what you would do is you would just import the trade that you place manually into the options auto trader. There's a green button that says import trade. It'll show you all the list of trades you have at your broker. And you would just click on the contracts you want us to track, and then we'll close it based on your exit rules. Casey says yes with 2 exclamation marks to the showing various other different types of top performing bots based on breakdown. So looks like we got 1 yes. That's nice. Bandana says, unless you explained this already, all three links show the biweekly rainmaker. Yep. This strategy that they're all using is the biweekly rainmaker. Okay. So what that is, it's a short strangle, 90 days out, where you have the 10 delta that you're selling for the put and the 5 delta that you're selling for the call, which is a skewed strangle so that you have a little upside protection. Don said, yeah, using my trade rules and entry rules and strike prices, yes, manually. Yeah. So what you would do, yeah, is you would just place a trade manually and then you'd import it into the bot. There are so many people actually on the options auto trader that do that, where they wake up in the morning, they want to nail the perfect entry based on their indicators, based on their feelings, based on how they trade. And then they put on that trade and they give the trade to the options auto trader. They just click import, they import it, and they walk away from the screen so that they can go about the rest of their day. This is something that Lorna at Simpler Trading does, is she actually enters the trade herself and then she lets the bot manage the rest. It's something that John Carter for a while was doing at Simpler Trading as well. But yeah, there's a lot of traders that do that. So, any other questions that we got? Looks like we got a good crowd in here, 30, 32, 30, 33 people. So sounds good. John says, thank you. Awesome. Sweet. It's pretty straightforward. The market was very flat. Today is a very red day. So we will see how March plays out. There were only 3 days into March and we're having a very red day. I expect it to recover. Again, it's just my thought. We're still long-term bullish. I expect a recovery. But anyways, I hope this is something that you guys, can you suggest any elite bots for today? I don't have any elite bots. I don't run elite bots, but you're welcome. Oops. Once you're a member of the Options Auto Trader, you can always use the Discord to say, hey, who's running elite bots or who has a elite strategy, and people can share it with you. So it's a great place to ask. Shahir says it would be helpful to have bot titles describe their outlook. Yeah, you could definitely do that. Again, you can just rename your templates. Are there trainings for creating and editing bots? Absolutely, Shahid. I created the Options Auto Trader Help Desk site, which has videos for every single thing that you could do inside the software. It explains it every single step of the way. Let me see. I hope you guys can still see my, yeah, sweet. Inside the Options Auto Trader, move all this Zoom stuff. See, we're down today. Right here is the chat box where you can chat with us, but there's also the help section. If you click on help right here, what you can see is that there is training for everything you could want to do. So for instance, you said creating bots, you could creating, and right here, how to create this bot, how to create all these bots, different broker guides. If you want to be more specific on creating bots, I have a custom options bots 101 that shows you how to create various types of strategies. I also have an options auto trader 101, which shows you how to create strategies and what all the rules mean. So you know what rule does what. How to edit bots. So you can just type in edit and it'll show you how to edit, how to manage, how to do all this stuff, how to create a shingles bot, literally anything you want to, how to rename a bot, how to, yeah. So there's literally videos around everything. You can see here, there's a video to watch that explains how to rename the bot and everything like that. Make sure you leverage this help desk. There's a ton of amazing things there. Is there an update soon coming to the options trading toolbox? Thanks. So for those of you guys who don't know, as a huge bonus to Options Auto Trader members, not only do you get access to our automation platform, which allows you to, well, generate passive income by just setting up the rules and letting the bots run. You can even leverage our own bots that we give you, but you get a ton of bonuses. If you click on your profile image, there's something called resource. There's a ton of bonuses here that you can do. One of them is the options trading toolbox, which gives you access to a ton of data. You can see here it's currently being used by about 1,500 traders, and you guys get access to the free unlimited version or the unlimited version for free. Most people have to pay $500 a year for it. You get it for free. And so you can access all of this data. So there's stuff like gamma exposure, GEX data, trade ideas, dark pool orders, all that stuff. And yeah, so for the questions, is this data coming to the options auto trader so that you can use it for bots? Yes, it is. It's on the to-do list. It's coming soon. See, we're already coming up on a rise in the bots. I know I was down about 4,500 at the worst of it today, but now we're up to about 28. So the bots are definitely recovering. Again, give it a couple days. I think the market will see a nice recovery. How do you create a winning trade only bot? Winning trade only. I don't think this bot has technically lost money. It's down currently, yes, but I don't think it's lost money. Performance data. Yeah, 24 wins. No losses. Yeah. So futures bullish spot. If you want to watch a recap on that, you can go to the Options Auto Trader YouTube channel. That was the top bot of, it's always my top bot, but it's the top bot of January was this spot right here, the futures bullish spot. I've been running this strategy by hand for 3 years now and running this bot for about a year now. Reza says, if we cancel before 14 days, can we still access these free stuff? Yes, you can. It's one of the things you get to keep all the bonuses if you do it. Yeah. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was this month's breakdown. Looks like next month we'll have more information on the top IRA friendly ones, the top small account friendly ones, all that stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a great time for Options Auto Trader users to communicate, to have fun, to talk about things. Again, this is done the first week of every single month to do the breakdown. So look forward to next month where we'll talk about March, what went well, what didn't, what bots you should be running. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, look, there's some final questions I'll get to, and then we'll call it. Darren says, can you mention new brokers coming? I can mention that E-Trade is coming for sure. I can mention Moomoo, which is going to be more of an international broker, or Robinhood, hopefully, but no details on that since technically they don't have a connection point, but I'm trying. Vandana says, how do you see the performance details again? Yeah, so if you're on the leaderboard section, you can actually view all these bots. If we go back to February, you can see them here. You can click on it. And you can see all their performance metrics last 30 days, last 7 days, all that stuff here as well. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Go to oatdiscount.com to get the bots, the biweekly rainmaker. Go there, access it. It's awesome. And I will see you guys in either emails or live, I guess, next month. All right, guys, enjoy your day. Let's wait for the market to turn around. And I can't wait till everyone's using the options auto trading. All right, guys, enjoy your week.